The King of Prussia Mall is the second largest shopping mall in the United States of America in terms of gross retail space. It is a luxury mall with numerous upscale retailers. It is the main shopping location for Philadelphia Main Line residents and for the Delaware Valley. It is located in King of Prussia, a census-designated place within Upper Merion Township, Montgomery County in southeastern Pennsylvania, just outside Philadelphia. The two sections that comprise the King of Prussia Mall include the Plaza at King of Prussia, anchored by Lord & Taylor, Dick's Sporting Goods, JCPenney, Neiman Marcus, and Nordstrom. And the Court at King of Prussia, which is anchored by Macy's and Bloomingdale's. The latter includes the Pavilion at King of Prussia. Description: King of Prussia Mall is anchored by Nordstrom, Macy's, Neiman Marcus, Bloomingdale's, Lord & Taylor, JCPenney, and Dick's Sporting Goods and a diverse merchant mix of over 400 stores, including a collection of luxury retailers. A selection of international dining options are available at 3 food courts and in casual and fine dining establishments including Cheesecake Factory, Morton's The Steakhouse, Seasons 52, Capitol Grill, Maggiano's Little Italy, California Pizza Kitchen, Cantina Laredo, Grand Lux Cafe, Bonefish Grill, and Legal Seafoods. History: the mall was originally developed by the Cravo Company. The Plaza at King of Prussia, the oldest portion of the complex, opened in 1963 as a modest open-air shopping mall anchored by JCPenney, discount department store E.J. Curvet, and an Acme A-frame-style supermarket. The Plaza prospered and by the late 1970s had become a partially enclosed super-regional mall anchored by department stores JCPenney, Jim Bell's, and Wanamaker's. The Wanamaker's store opened in 1965 in what had been an amphitheater. By the late 1970s, the Plaza consisted of a small, fully enclosed section and a sprawling outdoor mall. It was around this time Cravo noticed a demand for more upscale shopping in the northwest Philadelphia market. The company embarked on a second mall, the Court at King of Prussia, to be constructed across the street from the Plaza. The Court opened in 1981 as a fully enclosed mall anchored by department stores Bamberger's, Bloomingdale's, and Abraham & Straus. In addition, Sears was added to the Plaza, relocating from Norristown. Sears was built as a store of the future, and was completed along with an expansion of the multi-level portion of the Plaza. The Garden Food Court was part of this expansion. Shoppers also said goodbye to inclement weather as the outdoor portion of the Plaza was enclosed. For the first time, King of Prussia visitors were inside all the time. Through the 1980s, the Plaza sported such stores as Woolworth's, Herman's World of Sporting Goods, and a Lionel Kiddie City toy store. The Woolworth store closed in 1993. The Plaza also featured 2 1980s-style video arcades, each named Spaceport, and the RKO Stanley Warner Movie Theater which, in an era before multiplexes, had only one extra-large 7M screen. This theater was later split in half to add a second screen. By the early 1990s, demand for luxury goods had grown across the nation and many upscale retailers were in a growth mode. Lord & Taylor, Neiman Marcus, and Nordstrom were all looking for new locations in the area, and Cravo didn't want any of them to land at a competing mall. The company's dilemma, though, was that the court was on a small piece of land and couldn't expand, while the Plaza was too downscale for these stores. Cravo decided to embark on an ambitious campaign to almost completely rebuild the Plaza to make it just as attractive to upscale retailers as the court and to begin marketing the two malls as a single entity. The former Acme Market's location was demolished during this project. Beforehand it moved a bit down the road into a new building, with a strip mall including a Tower Records shop. The new Plaza is fully enclosed and has 2 levels throughout. Lord & Taylor opened its doors in the fall of 1995, while Neiman Marcus and Nordstrom opened theirs in the spring of 1996. Upscale stores at the Plaza are clustered in the southern end of the mall near Lord & Taylor, Neiman Marcus, and Nordstrom, while middle market stores remain clustered in the northern end of the mall near JCPenney and Sears. The court now contains a mix of upscale stores and middle market stores. The anchor lineup at both malls changed during the 1990s as the industry consolidated. Stearns, which had replaced Jim Bell's, left and JCPenney moved into its old space. John Wanamaker was acquired by May Department Stores, which rebranded all Wanamakers as Hecht's, their Baltimore, Washington regional nameplate. Abraham and Straus was consolidated with Macy's, and Strawbridge and Clothier briefly took its place at the court. Soon after, May acquired Strawbridge and Clothier, rebranded it as simply Strawbridge's, and merged it with Hecht's Philadelphia operations. The Hecht's at the Plaza became a Strawbridge's, and the Strawbridge's at the court closed. The mall even featured an outlet of the popular New York City toy company FAO Schwarz, complete with a giant teddy bear, before hard financial times forced it to close in 2004. The growth of large-format specialty retailers in the 1990s led to the early 2000s conversion of the former Strawbridge's store at the court into the Pavilion at King of Prussia, which might be considered the third mall at King of Prussia. The Pavilion connects directly to the court. Tenants at the Pavilion include the Cheesecake Factory, Old Navy, H&M, Urban Outfitters, DSW Shoes, Five Below, and Morton's The Steakhouse, and many more. Before development of the Pavilion, a 20-screen multiplex was proposed for the building's third floor. This would have been the first movie theater built inside the King of Prussia Mall. In 2006, the Strawbridge's store was reflagged as a second Macy's location. It was closed in 2007 and demolished in 2011 to make room for a new two-story retail building. The mall served as the home of the Philadelphia Freedom's tennis team of World Team Tennis in 2008 and 2009. Whenever a tennis event was to occur, a temporary tennis stadium was constructed in the parking lot of the Bloomingdale's anchor store. Eventually, the Freedoms left for the Pavilion at Villanova University in 2010. In 2011, Simon increased its ownership of the King of Prussia Mall from 12.4% to 96%, buying Lend-Lease's 50% ownership of the mall. Lend-Lease had bought its stake in the mall in 1996, with Cravo, Simon, and three family trusts owning the remaining 50% at the time. In January 2014, it was announced that Sears would sublease some of his space to Dick's Sporting Goods. Sears would be closing this location in early December 2014. It was announced that Irish retailer Primark would be on the first level of its space while Dick's Sporting Goods would take parts of the second level. King of Prussia today. Managed by Simon Property Group of Indianapolis, who owns 97%, the upscale mall has over 400 stores and restaurants. It is also the sole outpost in Philadelphia for a number of high-end stores including Stuart Weitzman, Hugo Boss, Ralph Lauren, Love Culture, Kate Spade, Tory Burch, DKNY, Louis Vuitton, Longchamp, Gucci, Henri Bendel, Cartier, Tourneux, Ermenegildo Zegna, Vineyard Vines, and Hermès. King of Prussia frequently sees the addition of new retailers, many of which are unique to the area, with some having one of their few East Coast locations at King of Prussia. The mall also houses a Tesla Motors dealership. The mall is a prominent tourist destination in the Philadelphia area, with an estimated €25% of visitors as tourists. Several nearby hotels offer mall tourist packages, which typically include mall gift cards. The mall employs over 7,000 people in the area. Due to the mall's size, several retailers rent more than one space. For example, the mall has 3 Sunglass Hut Internationals, 5 Auntie Anne's Pretzels, 2 Coach stores, 2 Victoria's Secrets, 2 H&Miss, 2 Starbucks restaurants, 2 GameStop stores, 2 General Nutrition Center stores, 2 Bath & Body Works, 2 AT&T stores, and 2 Teavana stores. The court is linked to the plaza by a covered outdoor walkway, which features an array of plants, benches, and speakers playing jazz music. It was the original concept for the current King of Prussia Mall. Its anchor stores are Macy's and Bloomingdale's. It originally had a third anchor, Abraham and Straus, which sold its store in 1988 to Strawbridge and Clothier, which subsequently relocated to the former Wanamaker location at the Plaza in 1996 upon its acquisition by May Department Stores Company. Its spot was redeveloped as the shopping complex's newest section, the Pavilion at King of Prussia. Stores in this section include a double-level Urban Outfitters, Five Below, and the Cheesecake Factory. One of the complex's 3 food courts is also located in the court. The mall has several outparcels including Crate and Barrel, Seasons 52, and a Wells Fargo branch. There are also several large stores located in the immediate vicinity of the mall, including a 16-screen United Artists Theatres with an IMAX theater, a Wegmans food market, a Costco wholesale, Toys R Us Babies R Us Superstore, Best Buy, Nordstrom Rack, Walmart, the largest Target corporation on the East Coast, Capitol Grill, and several luxury and affordable hotels. Lockheed Martin also has a massive campus overlooking the mall area. Also under construction is the King of Prussia Town Center, a 230,000-plus square foot retail development adjacent to a new 130,000 square foot Wegmans in King of Prussia, Pennsylvania. The retail project is located within a 125-acre mixed-use development that is currently being developed in phases adjacent to the King of Prussia Mall. 2011 Euro 2016 expansion, the 6th anchor store in the Plaza, was demolished during the fall of 2011. Over 100,000 square feet of retail space adjacent to the former department store is currently under redevelopment, and some of the stores within the redevelopment have already opened, including a relocated, 2-level Forever 21 and an Athleta. H&M has relocated to a 2-level store as well, and they opened right next to the new Forever 21. A second H&M opened November 21, 2012. Texas de Brazil announced they are opening at the mall in 2015. On November 29, 2011, Simon Property Group announced plans to create a 140,000 square feet expansion to connect the court and the plaza. This new retail connector will feature 50 stores, dining choices from some of Philadelphia's well-known celebrity chefs, an upscale dining pavilion and a customer lounge. This proposal, which includes expanding the adjacent parking deck, is still subject to approval by the local government. This project will make King of Prussia Mall the largest official shopping mall in the United States, and it will be under one roof for the first time. The 155,000 square foot expansion will also add a new parking garage with speed ramps, space location technology and valet service. Construction on this expansion is estimated to cost $150 million. Several outparcels are also proposed for this expansion. The Container Store is located in the outer parking lot of the court with frontage along DeKalb Pike. Chipotle is boasting its own restaurant off the turnpike next to the Container Store. Most recently a Shake Shack opened in the outskirts of the parking lot closest JCPenney. On November 18, 2014, construction began on the expansion to connect the court and the plaza. Completion of the expansion is expected in August 2016. Square footage equals the plaza equals JCPenney opened 1966 as Jim Bell's, closed 1987, reopened as Stern's 1988, closed 1989, reopened as JCPenney 1992, Lord & Taylor opened 1995, Neiman Marcus opened 1996, Nordstrom opened 1996, Dick's Sporting Goods opened 1983 as Sears, closed in 2014, Dick's Sporting Goods opened in the second floor space in 2014, two-story retail building opened 1965 as John Wanamaker. Rebranded as Hecht's in 1995, Strawbridge's in 1997, and Macy's Plaza in 2006. Closed in 2007. Demolished in 2011. Opened in fall of 2012. Equals the court equals, Bloomingdale's, Macy's. See also. List of largest shopping malls in the world, List of largest shopping malls in the United States. References. External links, King of Prussia Mall, leasing brochure.